I was going to try to bring it up in a smooth transition, but
like smooth jazz or like smooth poo. Welcome once again to Chill Filtered, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to, but you probably should, and you probably are, and that's why we like you. This week we are at Robby stole my joke. Actually, he thought of it too. We both had a Duran joke in our head, but we are both thirsty like the wolf and loyal like the wolf, I would say. You're a loyal friend like a wolf. Maybe that's
I'll
not
sniff your butt.
Yeah, maybe that's like, is a wolf loyal? I guess wolves are loyal.
Yeah, they're in a pack, man.
Yeah.
But they're not in pack, man.
Yeah, so we're drinking Highland Park 14, Loyalty of the Wolf today. We'll go over some of that history. We'll go over a lot of things today. But before we get to any of that, let's talk about some business. Hit us up on patreon.com/chillfiltered. That's a way you can support us more than just talking to us. We love talking to you. And while I say it, hit us up on Instagram. We love just chatting with you guys. We chatted with a few people even just today. Or at least the past few days. And we love that. But if you want to just support us in a way that really shows us that you are behind us, hit us up on patreon.com/chillfilter. That's the business. Robby, how is your life?
Pretty good, man. I don't know. Like, it was weird because we came off the Christmas break. And then last week we didn't get back to school till Wednesday was our first day. So it was like a 3-day week there. So this whole 5-day week has just felt like, is it Saturday yet? Like, it feels like we should have time off. Well, we haven't. No, things are good. I mentioned, did Finley lose her tooth last episode?
No.
She lost another tooth. Poor Junie was so sad. She was like, I'll never have money.
I think you did mention that. Yeah, that Junie was sad about that. Yeah.
Yeah. But not a lot else. I'm getting ready. So this is crazy. Not my thing. I got Chuck Westerberg, a beautiful Patreon member, and his wife Stephanie. There's a big fancy fundraiser, and they bought a table there, and for her birthday they're like, we want you guys to come with us. We bought the table, we just want you to come with us. Nice. Which is awesome. And it's like really swanky. It's got an open bar kind of a thing, and nice. I'm trying to be more frugal with my money too. My wife Chelsea was like, so here's the plan. We can either pay for the Ubers or you can stay sober enough to drive. And I was like, Chelsea,
you're like, why do you bring this to me?
She crafted that phrase so well. I'm like,
yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, I want it. It's an open bar, so I'm like, man. And it's a swanky thing. I don't know what whiskeys are going to be on the shelf. So I'm like,
by open bar, you mean like free too?
Isn't that what open bar means?
I guess so.
I don't know. I don't go to events with open.
You don't ever have the opportunity to have an open bar.
Yeah, I don't know. So I assume that's what it means. So it's free.
Yeah.
And there's like, I'm like, man, you're killing me, Chelsea. So anyway,
what if they have like terrible whiskey? Still open bar.
It's still free.
It's true.
If it's free, it's me. But anyway, that part I'm like, okay, we'll just get the Uber, like whatever, it's fine. And then like we like the Westerbergs a lot, so it's an excuse to go over the next day and say hi anyway. So but the problem is it's a masquerade. I told you about the masquerade ball.
Oh, yeah,
right?
you gotta wear a mask.
So I got my mask and everything. I had to like all
Did you get your Buffalo Bill mask?
No.
Oh.
But I got an owl mask. I bought myself an owl mask. So, and then Chelsea's like, that's kind of weird and ugly. And I said, yeah, but it's an owl mask. So the whole night I can go walk around going, who am I? Who are you? Right. So then I should have bought a suit, but I just kind of pieced together an outfit that's nice enough, dressy, that but stuff I'll still probably wear. So that's coming up on Saturday. So I'm excited about that. And and the Seahawks play on Saturday. We made the playoffs, so I'm happy about that.
Hey, is the first week of the playoffs this weekend?
Yep, Saturday. Do wild card.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the 49ers, who have been pretty hot, but something's telling me we got a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good chance, but I think there's a chance. So anyway, I don't know. And weather's starting to look nice. It's like going to get up to 50 today, I guess. And when girls get home after we get done recording, we're going to hop on the trampoline because I'm like, you know what? Like at 50 degrees in this time of year feels like 60, 70. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. This time of year, heck yeah. I remember when we lived in Colorado, once it got to 50 degrees, you like roll your windows down on the road while you're driving.
Yeah.
Like you enjoy every moment of that.
We hit 48 last week, and I saw a guy with his convertible top down. I was like, well, okay.
I believe it. Yeah.
It wouldn't be me, but I get it. I understand it. Like we're all excited. Oh gosh, like in Eastern Washington, Cheney, like it would gosh, they had the worst winters. Like it would be like 130 days, 40 days with snow on the ground kind of a thing. Dang. Not snowing, but just snow not melting. Right? As soon as it got to be like 40 degrees, like all the college girls were walking to class with their Uggs and like short shorts on.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's how it goes. So anyway, that's that. I don't know how you been, buddy.
I've been good.
Oh, one more thing. For my birthday, I got my entry buzz. My sister-in-law Danae gifted me a bottle of Green Spot, so that's what I'm sipping on now. Yeah,
the traditional, like just the standard Green Spot, just not like a Chateau one.
Nope, just stuff. Green.
Yeah, I don't know if we've done that one. We've done yellow, and we've done Chateau Leoville Barton.
Yes,
but we haven't done standard.
And then we have a sample of gold on the shelf too.
We do. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but we'll save that for March. Soon. We'll do that March.
Who gave us that? Was that I believe that was a Brian Rapp joint.
I think so, but I didn't look close enough at I don't remember the label enough.
Yeah, I apologize if it wasn't Brian Rapp, but I don't apologize if it was.
I feel like I feel like there's administrative duties on the podcast that I need to that need to be done, and I feel like I should start doing it. Like we need to start reaching. Well, like on our Gmail, we got a Google Drive associated with it. Just putting things on the Google Drive so that we can both access it. Like the list of what we have on the shelf, who send us the stuff. Yeah, that sort of thing. And so we don't go who.
We need to. Miles Ferguson brought this up recently. He said it'd be good if you guys did like really actually wrote down every score we've given. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but if we wrote down every score we've given, like that's valuable because like people will see like, well, what was their favorite Irish whiskey, or what was their favorite this or that, or do they recommend I've Jefferson's Pichon Baron.
But you were a little annoyed that Adam made you do it for the first year.
So well, that's a lot of work retroactively. Maybe we should just do it moving forward, but we really should do both.
Yeah,
maybe
we'll get to that.
Pay one of our listeners in whiskey and give them a bottle and just say, hey, find out every score. Let us know if you're up for that.
Do that. The other thing is we got to get more, like, I feel like we should reach out to more distilleries with like an official email to HR, like not HR, and report every single one of those dang slackers for harassment. No, like their marketing. I feel like so there's just little things.
That Devil's Backbone distillery again, and they still didn't get back to me. So screw that guy. No, I'm kidding.
Email is
yeah, the Danzig. That's right. Mm-hmm. So, and anyway. But hey, if he hits us up, I'd love to have him on. But if not, maybe we'll just drink the Danzig on our own.
Hit him upside the head with a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge. The N stands for knowledge.
Jerk.
So,
because that's the Nebraska joke. I got you right. You remember?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I know you're a big fan of Nebraska, but you didn't go there. So that says a lot.
I've been on the campus.
Oh yeah, in Lincoln.
Yep. That's about as close as I got. I did think for a while I was going to try to get
Washington State, didn't you?
No, I went to Eastern Washington, and then I have a
master's from Boise State. So. EW. The E stands for excellence, and the W stands for whiskey.
And the U stands for you and me. Oh, yeah, hey,
exactly. Forever. One of the funny things last week, and this is kind of not a tangent, but this is kind of changing the subject for a moment.
Perfect.
You ever heard of the OpenAI DALL-E? We did like the AI
being thing,
like logo and stuff, like on Instagram just for fun and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So there's a chat bot too, and this is the one that can like write an essay and stuff like that, which is pretty impressive. So what I did last week on the podcast was I said, write a chill filtered podcast episode description regarding
is that what that was this
Hill
week?
Rock Estate. That's what it was. Yeah. And I slightly adjusted it.
I was like, this looks different than Cole usually does it. So
and it just wrote it probably wrote 85% of the whole thing, and I was like, let me just adjust a little more, and then that was it. It was a great description.
Are we being chat botted right now?
Yeah, no, I promise. This is me. This is me.
If chatbot's listening and we talk about chatbot, does he become self-aware?
He's probably already self-aware. He probably already knows that we use him. Speaking of use him, I was hitting up Brian Rapp today. About
he
Brian
hit us up first.
Yeah, he did. Brian, congrats on the George T. Stagg snag.
Absolutely.
I'm a little jealous, but a lot happy for you. But I was telling him I had a chance today or tomorrow to get on the ABC lottery in Virginia, either Weller Full Proof, Weller CYPB, or not Buffalo Trace, Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. And so I got a Weller Full Proof again. But I got it through a friend, and it was kind of weird because I was like, this is the only friend out of the 18 entries of friends and family that I put in that would be like potentially interested in actually having it himself. So I was like, I'm not going to be a jerk and be like, hey, I won through you. Get me my bottle. So I was like, hey, and actually right before this podcast, he called me and I was like, hey, if you want it, it's yours. I would love it if you don't want it, I'll take it happily. And he was like, oh no, if you want it, you can have it. I would love to try it. So I'm like, sweet, I'll take it. I'll pay for it. You get it. And we'll share it. We'll just, share a pour together. So I'll have an open bottle of Weller Full Proof to enjoy with a good friend. So
there you go.
Hopefully it'll be better than the last one. I remember we tried it on the podcast and I was like, meh.
Didn't live up.
I don't know. It's not really a batch thing. Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely sub to what. Was that my sub to what pick?
I think it was.
And
I don't know. I have
another one.
I only watched the podcast on YouTube and I haven't seen that yet.
Okay.
You haven't edited and released the chilies yet.
No, I did. It's totally on. It's on.
Oh,
YouTube.
Is it? I didn't see it yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay, we'll have to watch.
Yeah, but just watch it. Watch it hard. Do you actually watch it as opposed to listening?
Yes, more so. Well,
I'm the opposite
kind of 50-50
because I can't really watch it at work. So
kind of 50-50. I always check to see what you put in the beginning and the end because I'm like, oh, like last week we were like right on the same page. Yeah. And then sometimes I'll just leave it running and listen to it. I like it. See, this is one thing that I like about the show is every time I listen to an episode, it reminds me of a period of time, like when we do this part of the show, and then it's just in general, I'm like, that's me hanging out with my buddy.
Yeah,
and I like
exactly.
That.
Yeah,
and hopefully you feel that way, listeners. Speaking of which,
I feel that way, Robby. I feel that way.
Anything else you want to say about your week? Anything else going on with people? Did you almost get fired this week? No,
didn't almost get fired this week. But I might have to take off tomorrow. Apparently, Beck had some. Beck, sorry when you're old enough to listen to these episodes. Sorry that you had a really rough day of diarrhea that you had to go home from daycare with. So Beck's gonna stay home tomorrow, and I might need to take off the day tomorrow just to watch her all day. So, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna go on our hike again, and we're just gonna have a blast.
Change lots of clothes.
Exactly. Hopefully, it gets better tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if it does get better tomorrow, we're just gonna have a blast. And I'll probably on the hike, I'll have to carry the diaper bag with me or something. Change her on a
that's a good idea. No, honestly, even when I like when my kids are sick when I'm working, and it's nice to be like, okay, I have to take the day off, and you know what? I get to be with you. Yeah, most of the time. Beck's at an age where it can be really hard.
No, I mean, I have a feeling she's on the up and up. So, and if it is rough tomorrow, it's gonna suck. But it's still my prime day with my baby. Yeah. So, and I'm gonna have two soon. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like the twins are an age. Like we've had over break, they got pretty sick for between the two of them, it'll last a week almost, kind of a thing. But they're at an age where it's just like, you know what, that's fine. What do you want? Applesauce? Cool. Here's your apple. Oh, you want some Gatorade? Cool. I'll get you some. You just want to be on your screen, and that just keeps you chill on the couch. That's fine by me. When they get to that point where you're just they can communicate, and you can communicate. You're gonna feel better tomorrow. We just gotta take a nap, baby. You just gotta go to bed. You'll feel better. Yeah. So.
No, that's good. But yeah, that's all I got. I think that's
okay.
My week. Did you have something you want to say?
Well, I think you'll probably hit it up once we get to the next segment.
Oh, for sure.
So I was going to try to bring it up in a smooth transition, but
like smooth jazz or like smooth poo.
Oh man, both are my favorites.
Yeah, actually,
they come out sounding like they both come out sounding like.
Poo guy, but
that's not smooth. That was not smooth jazz. That was more like.
That's definitely not smooth jazz.
No.
No.
That's how my diarrhea sounds. No, that's how my diarrhea sounds.
Oh, okay. Like a nice trombone. Nice.
Noise.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess that's a good shooting the breeze segment.
I don't know if it was or wasn't, but it's time for a break.
I know these things. I'll tell you this, Robby.
Okay.
I appreciate our listeners. And, and we'll talk a little bit about this before we get into history a little bit. And maybe this is what you wanted to bring up, but, or maybe what I'm about to bring up after the break was what you wanted to bring up. But I just appreciate people that, support us, even if just listening, even if you're Drew Toland and you're not a Patreon person, but you're still beautiful. Imagine, Drew, how beautiful you would be if you joined Patreon.
I don't know. That's like giving Thanos the glove, dude. Like all Infinity Stones. Bro might get.
Remember that time where I was just, I still mean it, but remember that time where I was like, he is so photogenic. And I'm sure he was like creepy.
Him and his wife. I was just looking at all their pictures.
Yeah. And his baby girl. And
it was
baby girl number 2. Yeah.
It was so creepy. We had to bring it up again.
Exactly. And now the other girl's involved. So. Yeah, so I hope, Drew, that you're loving being a girl dad still. I know he is. He just looks like he's so happy all the time.
And Drew,
he's like more happy than Bryce Marita.
Drew, I hope you're not weirded out. But most of all, Drew, I hope that you're gonna love this walking break.
And we're back. What a fun walking break.
Oh my goodness.
First of all, here's my what we were alluding to earlier. A shout out to a Paul Clarkson.
Booyah!
Our latest
What's up, Paul?
Patreon supporter who joined at the Stemless Glencairn tier, who is now eligible for drink-alongs and will be hitting us up, or he'll be joining us in terms of getting samples couriered to him for the future drink-alongs, which I'm really excited about some of these.
For just $10
this week.
For just $10?
$10 a month.
Low, that's like $120 a year at 10 monthly installments. $10 monthly installments.
That's easy. I mean, you think about it.
That?
Per week, that's like $250 a week. That's it. Just chip it in a week. It's great.
If you cut out your toilet paper budget.
Totally. Yeah, and you don't need a toilet paper. Just get a bidet. Save you some money.
This year, buy yourself a bidet. Next year, buy a chill filtered $10 tier Patreon.
Or the opposite. Just get a $10 Patreon and then get a bidet next year and clean up all the mess from last year.
just spraying like a fire hose.
You've seen UHF, right? We've talked about this.
Well, yeah.
So he's like, you get to drink from the fire hose.
Oh man, that was close. When I did my fire hose name, I almost shot phlegm out my mouth, and I'm glad.
Nice. That would have been a phlegm hose.
The old phlegm hose. That was my nickname.
So anyway, Paul Clarkson, feel free to. I don't know if we've talked to Paul.
I don't.
So feel free to hit us up on Instagram.
An interesting Instagram
email. Yeah, unless you have a username we don't know about, hit us up on the email, Instagram. We want to talk to you. We'd love to just hear how you found us and talk whiskey with you. So, and that's what they all do. All the pros. Speaking of which, Caleb Olson, why haven't we gotten barbecue pictures lately? Is it too cold in Wisconsin to barbecue and show us what you're cooking? We love you, Caleb. Hit us up. We miss you. And yep, next 3 samples are coming Paul's way, as well as Mr. Broesca Tusquinosa. Shout out as well to Brian Rapp again for giving us the sample that we're drinking today, the Highland Park. So before, and then, that's all the shout outs I got this week. I'm excited to say this is our first Highland Park Distillery product we've ever done on the podcast. Highland Park has a really cool backstory, and it's got Vikings, it's got peat, it's got cold-ish temperatures. So let's get to it. So first of all, let's talk about where Highland Park Distillery is located. The name suggests the Highland region of Scotland, but that is not the case. Highland Park is not even on the mainland of Scotland. It is an Orkney Scotch. And some people will just call it an island Scotch or an island-style Scotch, but technically it's an Orkney Island Scotch. But they are similar to other islands, and we'll get to that later. The reason it's called Highland Park is because of the area called High Park on which it is founded. They just decided to call it Highland Park. I just read that. The reason it's named Highland Park is because but like I said, it's not
Orkney.
even on the mainland island. It's part of the Orkney Islands, just north of the northernmost point of mainland Scotland. That point is a village called John O'Groats. Sounds like John O'Hughes.
Ooh.
So anyway,
sounds almost more like Hall and Oates. John and Oates.
Ooh, wait, take John, take Embellish Pod, and take Hall & Oates. Put them together, and you got the northernmost portion of the mainland Scotland. I like Hall & Oates.
I don't think I don't even think I could think of a song of theirs.
Dude, I was listening to Private Eyes, Man Eater. She's a man eater. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Watch out for the And then what else we got? We got Private Eyes, like I said. We got You Make My Dreams Come True. Sarah Smile.
Dreams come true.
You make my dreams come true.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And then what else we got from Mr. Hall, Mr. John Hall, and Mr. What is his last? Is it John Oates and Quaker Oates and John Hall? What is a Hall? It's John Oates. I don't even care. One's got a mustache and it's real good. So anyway, getting back to John O'Groats. North of that, it's that island just north of that point, and it's up there in latitude. It's on the 59th parallel, just about, and that's higher or more further north than Juneau, Alaska, in terms of latitude. So it's up there. I mean, like even England is pretty up there in latitude.
Hey Cole, I got a joke
if you actually look. What's that?
Juneau, the capital of the northernmost United States.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You do? Well, we don't have time for that. Alaska later.
I like that. That's funny. Teacher jokes.
Oh, wait a minute. I was supposed to say, do you know? Because that's another city. Gosh. Do you know the northernmost?
Wait. Oh, okay.
Do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, go
Juneau.
ahead. It's not Nome. It's Juneau.
And
Feel
you
free
can
to
even
steal that,
see
listeners.
Aurora Borealis up in the Orkney Islands. It's pretty far north. It's like basically the Arctic Circle. If not, it might be. Who knows? I'll know later. Here's what's crazy though. I looked up the average like Fahrenheit temperatures in January. You know, probably one of the coldest months of the year, if not usually the coldest month of the year. And it's honestly not that bad. The average temperatures in the Orkney Islands this time of year are about 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It barely reaches freezing down there or up there. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know if it's like because it has to do with like a lack of mountains or just that it's surrounded by the ocean. But it was surprising to me. I was like, interesting. I would have expected it to be icy and like snowing all the time. Anyway, Vikings used to live on the Orkney Islands. In the late 1700s, Vikings settled on the islands for around 500 years at least. The story is that they were running from an emerging new monarchy in Norway. Some were even exiled to the island. And with around 500 years being on that island, the Orkney Islands are very well known for their Viking history. And even Highland Park Distillery is not ashamed of the connection to Vikings. In fact, you'll see a lot of the Viking art and symbolism on their bottles. But the distillery was started in 1826 by a guy named Magnus Jonsson, which I don't know, but it sounds pretty Viking or Scandinavian at least to me. Hence, Viking origin. But anyway, he was apparently a butcher and also like just kind of your average guy, but he was distilling illegally by night there. And one day he was caught, and this was in the 1800s. I'm sorry, the late 1700s, like 1798 or something like that. And 30 years after, he decided to get his own license to distill. It's kind of like a James Bond movie, License to Distill. So since then, Highland Park has been making scotch, and they use peat in their malting process. In fact, they're known for using local peat as well, which apparently has more heather. Not my wife, the herb / plant heather involved more than other peat areas in Scotland. So like you'll get more of an herbaceous, piney note from their peat apparently, which is kind of cool. So in terms of comparable scotches, think more along the lines of Islay or Skye, other islands on Scotland. So expect some peat for sure. Anyway, some other products from Highland Park. They sell the Highland Park 10 Viking Scars. That's the name of it. They have a Highland Park 12 Viking Honor. Highland Park 15 Viking Heart. So they're big into Vikings here. Highland Park 18 Viking Pride. And they also have like a 21-year. They have like releases of 21-year, 25-year, 30-year, 50-year, and 40-year and 50-year options. Something called, they have another whiskey called Spirit of the Bear. They have 16-year called Wings of the Eagle. The Spirit of the Bear had no age statement. And then there's what we're drinking today, 14-year Loyalty of the Wolf. So it is a single malt, what we're drinking today. So 100% malted barley, as well as a few other things, but I'm not going to get into that now. In terms of mash bill, though, 100% malted barley. Apparently, it was aged in sherry, seasoned American oak, some ex-bourbon, and some refill casks from before. It is a duty-free exclusive. That was a nickname in college, actually. That is not Beck's nickname today.
Duty-free exclusive, which you cannot be guaranteed of.
Yeah.
Of every Chill Filtered episode.
That's for sure. Yeah. 14 years, of course, that's in the name. 84.6 proof. So that's like 42.3%. It is a liter bottle, full liter. So, and that's pretty good. So thanks again to Brian Rapp. Total wine price. It is not a Total Wine product. Yeah, that's for sure.
And we didn't ding our new Patreon member either.
Paul Clarkson.
What a baller.
What a baller. And I know he's more beautiful today than he's ever been in his life.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've totally forgot. It's been a while since we let our balls out. Baller dings out. So
yep. That's for sure.
Fun.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, $75 at a duty-free store. So. Duty. All right. I was entry buzzing on that rum again. I set it aside and then I brought it back up because I'm like, that was a great entry buzz. So yeah, shout out to Mr. Madtown marketer Ben Klipsig himself because he told us this will be a great entry buzz.
That was a delicious rum.
It was.
It was rum delicious.
Scrum.
Right, nose wise, very light fruit, very pear.
Okay.
Very white grapey, light.
Wow,
sweetness.
You're right. This is very light. Yeah, white grape is the name of the game here. Man. No peat. In my mind,
there's it's more like it's not like super peaty for sure. There's more like I get more like a charcoaly almost, like it's
which is the opposite of peat in this realm.
Honestly, the fruitiness is just it's forefront and awesome.
It is
So I'm gonna go for
bright and fruity. It's good. I really dig this nose in terms of like pears, white grapes, mostly white grapes, but really bright.
Wow. Ooh. Okay. This is good. It's really light on the palate to start, and then it slowly kind of goes into like that fruity sweetness, but then it has like a nice warming smoky peatiness on the very back end, but it's really all super mellow, like really good though. It's really interesting. Like I like how the mouthfeel kind of changes and travels. It's really good. I'm gonna go for second.
I agree with everything you said. Really fruity throughout, and at the end the finish is really nice and peaty but not overwhelming. And still fruity at the same time, and the finish lasts a while. I'm still dealing with it right now, but the cool thing is part of me wants to say I wish this was a little more kick in the proof, but I don't know if it'd be as good if there were more proof.
It's nice.
This is a good
it's
proof.
Tame. It's tame and it's accessible. So my wife works with a gal, Tanya Craft, who all she drinks is Highland 17, 18.
Highland Park 18.
The red bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say.
Yeah.
But that's a great bottle.
It really is. And that's the only thing she drinks. When we moved into our house, she gifted a bottle to us as a housewarming gift.
Nice.
And that is the only whiskey Chelsea will drink, which is funny because it's like, it is slightly peaty, but I think it's similar to this. It's really mild and like it's not going to really offend anybody, right? Like, yeah.
I think that they probably just partially peat this whiskey. It's not probably a full peat fire that's going on. They probably use some charcoal, some peat. And I think that's what I read actually is they do not completely peat, like something that you'd expect from an Isle of Scotch. Very well balanced. Even for a 14 year. Like it is bright and good and fruity and
have you added water yet?
No, but I'm about to.
Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention on my second sip, like it was like before you really kind of get into that fruit and then like that fade into peat. There's like a tanginess on the front end of the palate. Like it's just I don't know how to describe what it is, but it's just kind of tangy, and then it goes right into that. It goes into that sweetness, but I'm getting that kind of tangy note on the nose with the water.
There is a little like, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, it's like just a little bit.
I'm getting like a funk to it, and it's a good funk. It's like I don't know, like a peated Scotch funk, but it's not too peaty in that way.
It's like George Clinton, right? Where it's like a kind of funk that you want.
We want the funk.
Gotta have that funk.
Oh, we want the funk.
I kind of did more of like a James Brown as George Clinton.
Yow! There's funk to everyone. There's funk spectrum.
And this is a light funk on the funk spectrum. So
wait, what the funk you said?
You know what? Come to me with that tone. I'm gonna funk you up.
Yeah.
Rob D, funk you up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sniffing still on the water pour. Yeah. There's a fruitiness, a brightness, but a little bit of a funk. It's well balanced. I mean, like it's. I would even go as far as saying this is complex in that way. There's a lot going on, but it's all balanced. I like it.
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't know if listeners or viewers who aren't drinking it with us know what you're saying, but I know exactly what you're saying. Like it is
great mouthfeel,
nothing unpleasant, and it's nothing extreme.
Yeah,
but it's all like
nothing's too much. Yeah,
it's nothing too much, but it changes, and it's like there's complexity in like how it morphs. Like it really does change. Like it starts out again with this, like with the water, I'm getting a lot more viscosity to it. It's a little more syrupy. And
yeah, exactly. Even on the mouthfeel,
kind of killing that tangy note I was getting in the beginning, but then it goes straight into that, fruity sweetness and then into the peatiness. So yeah, I'm digging this.
If you love Highland Scotch, if you're a Speyside man or a woman, if you're someone that's like, I don't know if I'm ready to go into the peated world, this is the perfect first whiskey to appreciate before you move over to Isla or Sky or any of those ones. It is a really good transition to what is that little bit at the end that's a little smoky. That's not overwhelming. Like if you were to put this on like the phenol scale, it'd probably be like less than 10 compared to like Lefroy, which can get up to like 30 or 35 or something like that, or maybe 20, 25. This is light on the peat, but it's a really good transition to peat whiskey. So,
and if you put this on the Robby Dedlow female scale, this is a Chelsea Dedlow solid 10. It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Yeah. All right.
The female scale.
You just get that?
No, I just repeating it because it was hilarious.
Was it? All right.
In a Robby Dedlow way.
Yeah. So, yeah. Chelsea loves Taika Waititi. And I was watching something, and he was like, it was something where he was with his family, and he like took this video, and he's horseback riding, and he makes a dumb joke. And I'm like, that's funny. I like that. And then I go, that's a joke. I often make like a similar style I make around the house. And I send it to him, and she's like, oh my gosh, he is so funny. I'm like, that's the kind of jokes I make. And she goes,
yeah, you don't laugh at my jokes, woman.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I know, Chelsea. She doesn't.
I'm more likely to get the eye roll.
Yeah. That's funny.
I got some kids starting. I got some dirt bike kid at
rambunctious little children.
Yeah. All right. We got to hurry on this.
Still a great nose with ice.
I got to pick the kids up.
I would say maybe even the best nose with a little ice.
You think so? I think neat was
very
the best
refreshing.
Nose.
I don't know. I'll have to go back maybe, but it's just refreshing. At least on the nose. We'll find out what it is on the palate, but
palate wise, it's not bad. It's everything we said earlier. I do get a little bit of like a bitterness towards the end, but not much. Nothing that's like really going to be out. If you're, unless you're sitting and dissecting this and like, okay, I got to really think about what I'm drinking here. If you're just hanging out with a bunch of friends and you throw some ice in this, you're not going to notice that last little bitterness, in my opinion.
I'm with you. It's so subtle that it's almost like you'd forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was excited for
ice. I think neat was better. Yeah.
Neat was my favorite for sure. Ice is a very close second. Mm-hmm. Not ice. Water is a very close second. Ice, not bad, but nowhere near where the other two were. So,
yeah, I wouldn't drink it again. Excuse me. I wouldn't drink it again with ice because I know how good water and neat are.
If the only way I could get it was ice, I wouldn't turn it down either.
Yeah, I'd still drink it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a rating?
Formulate my rating for this.
I got mine. I'm going to go 8.95. Like it is so close to being that 9 range. Well, no, I'm going to go 9.1. I'm on the other side. Okay. It is. I really like this. It's like you said, accessible. It's got some complexity to it. Really nothing bad about it. I like this a lot. 9.1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to go 8.8. I think it is. I love the fruitiness. I love even one of my favorite things was the mouthfeel when I added a little bit of water.
Yeah.
Very good. Honey-like viscosity was up there in a great way. I like the amount of peat. I can be a peat fan, very much so. Like I loved Ardbeg Supernova, for example. Like that's a fantastic scotch. This is on the light end of the peat, but the fruity end throughout. Like this is, I want to say, I don't know what I gave Compass Box.
The Peat Monster?
The Peat Monster, but this beats it, in my opinion.
Peat Monster was not very monstery. But I would.
It was still
I don't remember. I'd have to listen to that again because I don't remember what we gave it. Gosh, have we ever thought about putting a list together of all of our ratings?
We'll think of a good bottle to give that person that goes through all of our episodes and writes down the scores. Anyway, I think 8.8. It didn't fully make Hubbard a 9.0 plus in that way for me. But there was nothing wrong with this great whiskey. So, especially neat pour. Yeah. And water pour. They were both great. Yeah.
Who doesn't love a parfait?
Yeah.
Cornbread. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with cornbread. Speaking of cornbread, why don't we move it over to our next segment of the show that we like to call Whiskey
Cornbread
World
of the
News.
week. Oh,
Yep, exactly.
Whiskey
New segment.
World News.
Whiskey World News.
And we're back. Part of the show where we read an article, we talk about it, we didn't write, gonna read it, here it goes. And this is Whiskey World News. Comes from The Spirits Business, written by Melita Keeley, and it's titled Tequila Overtakes American Whiskey in U.S. Our home turf, folks.
Wow.
Well, not all of us, folks, thanks to our international listeners. Mexican spirit tequila has surpassed American whiskey in value terms to become the second most valuable spirit category in the U.S. Furthermore, IWSR Drink Markets Analysis said tequila was set to overtake vodka in 2023 to be the biggest category by value. Total spirits volume sales in the U.S. grew by 2% in 2022, with strong demand for premium plus products. Premium and above spirits sales rose by 30% in volume. You're going to like this article, cool, because there's a lot of numbers. IWSR statistics show agave spirits contributed 1.6 billion to the spirits industry in 2022. IWSR noted this growth was responsible for 70% of the overall volume of growth and 65% of overall value growth of total U.S. spirits. Well, the total volume sales of spirits were up. Wine declined 2%, as did beer, while cider dropped by 4%. Ready-to-drink spirits offerings showed moderate gains of less than 1%, but the premium portion was up 38%. Like I said, a lot of math going on here. Brandy Rand, Chief Strategy Officer, Drinks Market Analysis, said economic.
Her name is Brandy?
Brandy Rand.
Nice. You're a fine girl. Go ahead.
Economic uncertainty continues throughout 2022, ranging from inflation to talks of recession to supply chain instability. Despite this, recent IWSR consumer price sensitivity survey shows Americans feel confident about their finances at a personal level. In terms of demographics, IWSR noted that high-income drinkers, those earning more than $150,000 U.S. annually, were especially secure across all age brackets. Millennials showed more confidence than older drinkers. Consumer spending and purchasing volumes were up in 2022 compared with 2021 in most tracked categories. Regarding premium spirits, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to stop there because it's just a lot of other numbers. But the point there is drinking rose, and the market that rose the most was tequila over whiskey. So, Cole, any thoughts there?
Yeah, I don't know. I was drinking mezcal this week, and it was good. I liked the mezcal. It's a smoky, nice.
I drank some this week too.
But you know what? I got to try some more mezcal. I got to try like aged mezcal. The mezcal I had was kind of like a white mezcal. But anyway, I don't think that it's better than whiskey. I think whiskey is the best. And that's what I think of that article. You're wrong, article. Whiskey's better. It's like, no, conditioner's better. We make the hair soft and silky.
No, shampoo is better. We cleanse the hair. Man, I've been on a Chris Farley kick lately, man. There's so David Spade and Dana Carvey have a podcast. I can't remember. A Fly on the Wall is what it's called. So they go through all like old SNL members and they just kind of talk about their experience. But it's really a lot like our podcast where it's just like, like here's what we're going to talk about. Never mind, we're talking about every other thing, and then we talk about that a little bit. But they did a Chris Farley one a couple weeks, like a tribute, and that's where I picked up. Like Amara watched Black Sheep with me, and I know Black Sheep is panned by critics, but man, that movie, like Chelsea was like, you were giggling the whole time. I don't know if Amara even noticed what was going on because you wouldn't stop laughing. Like, I friggin' love that movie, love that guy. Anyway, and then we started, and so we're watching Billy Madison now. That's what brought me to that thought.
Nice.
Anyway. My thought with this article
is
who would eat 30 lunches? Is the whiskey boom over, Cole? Did we crest the boom?
I don't know about this article. There were a lot of like not filler words, but there were a lot of qualifier, like filtering words.
Yes.
And it's like, is whiskey I know vodka is probably number one, and forget vodka. But like, the funniest thing is that usually in the whiskey department, Canadian whiskey is the highest seller. But you know what? Screw that. It's whiskey. So
yeah, there was a lot of buzzwords there, but I saw it and I thought maybe we crusted. Maybe we're coming down.
Yeah.
And it said millennials. I guess you're a millennial, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They said that millennials are the highest buyers. And whenever I go into like whiskey things, it's guys my age. And I think I'm Generation X / millennial. Like I'm in that middle ground. So I'm wondering if maybe like my age group and older are kind of dying from
heart stuff,
failure. I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe
that's your wife. She's in cardiology.
Oh gosh. I got to lose some more weight. She knows that. Oh.
She doesn't know that.
She knows that.
Nothing if that's that.
No, I got to get back in shape though, man. I let myself go last year. New year, new me. I know you're talking to your buddy and I was watching you. I couldn't hear you because you had yourself muted, but you kept patting your tummy, which by the way, looks trim and slim. You're looking good.
Thanks,
my friend.
Man.
Anyway, so that's that. All right. Okay. Moving over to the next segment of the show. I feel like that's enough of that.
Yeah. What are results from last week's What Whiskey Would You Choose?
What whiskey would you choose? Well, I'll tell you what.
We had some good questions.
So last week's, what's the last whiskey you thought, hey, I'll give this a try?
Yeah.
Cool one with Alberta Premium Cask 63.4%?
63.5.
Oh, man, that was off the top of my head. That's good remembering for me.
Nice.
And I went with Wathen's Songle Barrel and 71 to 29% there. And then to the listeners, Mad Time Marketer, Ben Close, that Flintstone whiskey, a Dickel.
Nice. I got Dickel in my eye.
Embellish Pod, John Friggin, Voldemort Hughes, Templeton Rye, Bortasca National, our Canadian friend, Rifle Rye. Had never seen it on the shelf before, and it was a good price. You know what? And that's one thing that you like. If you see something, you're like, I've never seen that.
It might be worth it.
There we go. Dramhound, 2 Raboral de Climans bottles, French whiskey that's finished in different wine casks. Does that sound familiar to you?
No, but I'm down.
That's okay. Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'm in on it. Brian Rapp, rare character, store pick.
Nice.
Bryce Marita, B_side, OKI reserve. Note,
nice.
Not the new riffs OKI, but paying homage to it. Marco Nazi, Smoke Wagon, small batch, and the Smoked Oak. Or I like to read their name, the Smoked Oak.
Yeah, Smoked Oak.
Rua American Single Malt.
Nice.
So I assume that's more regional too. So those are our write-ins.
Like it.
But before we get to what whiskey would you choose, last week on this show we said I was rapping and rhyming and spitting some lyrics, and I said, hard. Is rollerblading a game? And I think the overwhelming consensus is if you can win it, then it's a game, right? Yeah. So that was by a couple of people. Like that was the general consensus. If you can win it, it's a game. If you're skating in a roller derby, yep. And other than that, otherwise it's exercise. And Bell Spot says roller hockey is a game. Rollerblading is an activity. And Matt T. Markner said it's an activity. And you know what? You guys aren't introspective enough. Anything you do is a game played against yourself.
That's deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I just outsmarted them?
Yeah, you totally outsmarted them. You were like,
so rollerblading is not a game. Rollerblading's not a game. All right.
And I hope our listeners enjoyed the Andy reference this week.
Are you,
Robbie? I got a new one for you, but you gotta wait a little bit. You gotta save it.
I thought you were about to close us out there, buddy.
No, not yet. Okay. So the next prompt for a D's nuts joke is the word CD, and you'll be like, "Do you guys buy CDs anymore?" And then start from there.
Okay. All right.
And then be like, up in the CDs story. Nuts.
But I feel like then you also kind of got to show some bubble gum.
Bubble gum?
You never had someone do that? Okay, children and wives or women, unless
Look
you want
away.
to. We're about to get explicit. I'm not going to do it on the YouTube. Bubblegum. It's like, oh gosh, maybe it's in my fraternity. There was a guy that would do it every once in a while. You want some bubblegum or you want some chewing gum? And someone would say yes. They just kind of pull the skin through a zipper without a ball in it.
And you say chew on this.
No, I mean it just kind of looks like chewed bubblegum for us white guys.
Oh, that kind of skin. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why we're explicit podcast. Yeah. Don't listen, Bush's Baked Beans, because we want your endorsement.
But speaking of that and beans,
you
ever flicked another guy's beans?
Never flicked another guy's beans.
Kids in the school these days, they keep flicking boys' beans.
Is that what they do these days?
They do, but you know what I'd rather do with beans? Eat them. Bush's Baked Beans original. What a great bean can. You know what? You want to protect your beans from getting flicked?
Keep them in
an aluminum can that can be recycled for 5 cents in Oregon. Boom.
Just when you think that Bush's Baked Beans can't get any better, they put them in an aluminum can
to protect yourself.
To protect those beans. So anyway, this week's what was
we moving on from this? This is quality content.
What is the most? I don't know if we've ever done this. Maybe we have, but if it's changed, whatever. But what is the most you ever spent on a whiskey bottle?
Oh, geez. Okay. What was the whiskey that we got from Jason Preston? It was the Lot 40, right?
Yeah.
How much was that? That was like 80?
It wasn't that much. Retail,
much?
At least.
Golly. I want to say
it was
that
under 100. Is that the most you've ever spent?
I don't spend a lot on I won't.
You got a George T. Stagg. That was $100 or at least.
No, it was like 80.
What? That was pre-increase.
Well, no, it's Idaho, so it's all controlled.
No, but still, I think they raised the
90?
retail a few years ago to like 100.
Well, it was pre-COVID.
Maybe it was 90.
Yeah,
it was 2009. 90. I think or 19. You got it. Yeah.
So it'd be So I guess George T. Stagg $90.
Nice.
So
that's not a lot.
It's not a lot in terms of things, but it's a lot compared to like other good whiskeys you could get.
Mm-hmm.
What about you,
For
Cole?
sure. For me, I think the record is Redbreast 21.
Yeah.
Ben Klepsig was recently telling us he got it for like 200 euros. And I'm like, dude, I would throw down for 200 euros of Redbreast 21.
How much did it cost you?
But in the States, it's over 300 these days. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
I want to say like it was like 310 that I spent on Redbreast 21 a few years back.
If you've got the ability to, and you've got the occasion for,
throw down.
Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's good. And so did Ben Klepsig think this morning when he texted us or when he reached out. So, and he should have. He got some orange creamsicle. Don't blame him.
I can respect I mean, maybe it was subliminal because you said mango to me, and I went straight mango. But I can respect orange creamsicle.
I believe orange creamsicle. That is the definition of a creamy whiskey right there. So,
and a sickle.
Yep. At the same time.
Do you own a sickle? You got a big yard.
I did own a scythe.
Or a scythe.
Either way, I think they're interchangeable. When I had a little garden plot in Wisconsin, I bought a little scythe that was like really good for just chopping down hand-wise.
Do you have some, and I don't know because I prefer to go to Mexico, but around your property, do you have some, like you have like trees and stuff like that, right? Like
there's trees everywhere.
Wooded
more
areas?
Trees than the city of trees, I'll tell you that.
More, yeah. That's just because there's no trees in the whole desert around us, and then all of a sudden they planted
Boise is literally titled "the city of trees," and it's like, what? Really? Here? No, I mean, there's trees, sure.
Compared to the surrounding area.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
But I would assume you have some like growth you got to get with that sickle. Do you ever use a sickle around it?
Oh, I hit the growth with the sickle. That's for sure.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. What are we drinking next week? We haven't talked about this.
Yeah, so we're if things work out the way I hope they will, we are going to be drinking Del Box Sentinel Rye next week. So
Ooh,
keep an eye out. There is no voting. We are going to be drinking it, but
because
hopefully
your
you can just
opinion
get behind it.
sucks. We don't want to hear it.
No, yeah, not this
Is
week.
that the direction we wanted to go?
Sentinel Rye. That's what it's. Maybe we'll put it up against itself and let people vote.
Sentinel versus Sentinel.
Yeah.
Because
So
why the
that's
heck
that.
not? That is, man.
That's what I got.
Love
So
it.
I gotta let our listeners know that I hope they know how much we like them.
Oh, Vikings reference. I hope our
Yeah.
listeners watch The Northman because that is a great Viking movie.
Good to know. I hope our listeners watch Dark because that's a great show.
But most of all, listeners, I hope our love of whiskey lifted your spirits.
You make my dreams come true.
Okay.